Welcome to Parental Rights, the show for single parents made by single parents. We are helping smash the stereotypes of the single parent life. Parental Rights. It's time to write your own story. Welcome to another episode of Parental Rights, the show for single parents made by single parents, where we believe you have the power and freedom to write your own story. I am your host, Grant Kaufman, and we have another great episode for you. Of course, we have another segment of group therapy. This week's topic is single parents and social media, so that'll be fun to listen to what the panelists have to say. Speaking of panelists, we have our first panelist feature on the show this week, and we're going to be focusing on our Wowie from Malawi, Tokasani Masano. That's going to be a fun feature. We look forward to that. We also unveil a new but controversial segment. I think you're going to like it. More on that later. We also have another small business spotlight. But before we get to that, we are going to unveil the first ever parental rights top something list. 10 is too many, 5 not quite enough, so we settled on my favorite number and we created a brand new segment, and we're so excited about this segment that we named it Better Than 6. These are the parental rights general rules for single parent life. Rule number 1, be better, not bitter. The life of a single parent is stressful enough, so it's imperative that you do your best to bring that positive energy every day. This is so easy to say, but hard to do. It might take a little bit of work, but you can do it. Be better, not bitter. Rule number 2, put your kids' needs first. Yes, there is a place for me time, but their needs have to come before yours. Custodial parents, it will be very tempting to leave the kids at home, to crank up your social life, your dating life, but I'm telling you, this is a huge suggestion. Be patient on that front. Put your kids' needs first. Non-custodial parents, your kids love you. They want your time, not your money or your gifts. Rather than focusing on material stuff, put your efforts into spending time with your kids. Rule number 3, be seen, be proud. This doesn't mean that you just start bar hopping and go on hundreds of dates. What it does mean is you don't hide in the house. I'm guilty of this, so take it from someone who did this for way too long. Get out and be seen. Rule number 4, block the noise. Sometimes, as single parents, we get treated like we're from the island of misfit toys, or like we're circus freaks. You have to understand you can't please everyone, and there's going to be people who are going to turn on you. Those aren't friends. Let them go. There's going to be people who talk about you. There's going to be rumors. There's going to be lies. Block all that stuff out and live your life. Rule number 5, enjoy the ride. The single parent life is stressful and we all find ourselves feeling lonely and down. But when we do this, sometimes we completely lose sight of the amazing moment that we're in. Don't let stress override the joyful, fun moments you have with your kids. Have fun. Enjoy the ride. Rule number 6, no bashing the ex. Ex bashing is one of the more damaging things that you can do to the kids. It's hard to take the high road, but stay positive about how you speak about your ex. No matter the circumstances, bashing your ex will only bring harm to your kids. Rule number 7, therapy is not a weakness. It's actually a sign of progress. Friends and family are great, and go ahead and lean on them. But they're not counselors. They don't always want to hear about our struggles because it can actually wear on them too. And do not, under any condition, use social media as a means of therapy. So those are just a few tips to follow. We think they're important, and they're really perfect and right in line with our theme of this episode, which is influencer. You want to be a very positive influence and an influencer on your kid's life. Speaking of a positive influence, what a great time to introduce our very first panelist feature. Here she is, the Wowie from Malawi, Miss Tokasani Masano. Let's roll the feature.
My name is Thokozani Masano. I was born at Queen Elizabeth Central Hospital in Blantyre, Malawi, Southern Africa. Growing up in Malawi was so much fun. When I think of my childhood, I remember having so much fun with my brothers. I have 4 brothers and 1 sister. And then also I remember having dinners with my family, my mother and my father, visiting the village to see my grandparents. It was a really exciting time in my life. So I came to the United States in 2007, in July. The reason why I came over is because I was 22 at that time. So I decided I just wanted to see the world. So my friends and we found out about the au pair program. I came here on that program thinking I would just, I will be here for a year, experience new things, learn a new culture, meet people from all over the world. So I got married in 2012. It was a happy time in my life, and I had a daughter same year in December. But eventually things did not work out the way we planned them to work out. So we decided to part ways. So the divorce happened in 2018, and that's when I began my life as a single parent. It was hard at first. It was very difficult, not knowing what I would do, how I would manage this. But over time, I have gotten used to it. We have a great co-parenting situation with my ex. So we have both, grown and moved on in our own journeys, both have our own lives. So it's a very healthy situation at this time. And I would say so far the journey has been going well. During the pandemic, Gracie was virtual schooling. I'm working from home. So I think 2020, 2021 was the best year for us because we got to spend a lot of time together, a lot of bonding, a lot of just the two of us. It's really amazing. So that's one of my greatest moments as a single parent. The fact that it was just us bonding and getting to do just random things together all the time. Gracie and I like to go for walks. We love to go to restaurants, try different foods. We love to go to the shops, just window shop. And when we're home, we watch a movie, we play a game. Yeah, I look forward to continuing having a healthy situation for my daughter and for everybody involved, just so that we can I can raise a healthy and happy child.
What do you hope to accomplish with this show?
What I would want to accomplish with this show is just to share my journey and to just encourage people out there. Obviously, we don't want to encourage divorce, but sometimes when things come your way, you can be a single parent through various ways. We just want to give hope to people out there that are in this situation that, it can be done. It's just a life hiccup. You just have to keep moving.
That was fantastic. We're very proud of Toko. She actually just became a U.S. citizen, so that's exciting, and we're going to be talking about that in a future episode. But speaking of Toko, I recently contacted her because I had an idea for a new segment and wanted to run it by her. And I just had this feeling that sometimes single mothers have it easier than single fathers in certain areas. And there's just all this kind of collective group sympathy for single mothers, and you don't see that sympathy for single fathers. And I did some digging around and found some areas where that's true. Let's just roll the feature and see what you guys think. So I thought it might be kind of fun to come up with a segment to showcase where single mothers have it way easier than single fathers. And one of the areas that I discovered was social media. Women can post anything, and dudes will just be like, thousands of dudes will just be pressing all over it. Oh, yeah, love it, love it. Whereas if men posted the same thing, it's like crickets. Nobody cares. So I called Toko and I was like, look, let's go out and do some experiment shots and show people the difference and see what their reaction is, see what their thought is. Who would they follow if they saw these two photos, if they saw side by side these exact same images, one woman, one man? This is going to be a new segment. It's an acronym I've come up with. It's called, when single mothers have it easy, Wazami. Wazami. So this is the first installment of Wazami, and the topic is social media. And you decide who has it easier, single mothers or single fathers. Watch this. So there we go. There we go. Yeah, you guys have it so easy, you women, when it comes to social media, right, Abel? Can I get a backing on this?
Exactly.
Yeah, there's not many areas. Say it again.
Hey, that video,
Yeah, well, not
I
many
said
areas
that
you
video
guys have
was
it easier,
fun.
but that's one area for sure. So
Group therapy.
it's another great parental rights panel discussion. But let's talk about social media, because this is a whole interesting topic. And I have seen and heard some horror stories of people when they become the single parent. Man, they put stuff out there that should never be put out there. So, Alma, let's start with you in this. How would you approach social media as you first become a single parent?
I'm not a basher on social media, so I'm not gonna bash. I'm pretty private, but I'm open. I'm an open book at the same time. If that makes sense. Like I can talk about everything, like in person, but like when it comes to social media, I like to be more private
Oh, so that's a good approach. And actually, let's
with my
let's
social.
add to that. Let's add to that with you. Also talk about, do you even address the ex? Because a lot of people throw stuff. And you did say you're not a basher, which I'm too. But do you even address the ex at all on social media?
No, when no. I mean, I guess if they're attacking you, then maybe, like if you feel the need to, or just let people think what they want to think.
Abel, you okay? Social media. How would you address that? Not only as a new single parent, but are you going to address? How do you address the situation with exes that come up?
Well, I guess for me, social media was where I was aggravated. Um, I was hearing things and from like really close friends, and it hurt because I didn't say anything. I just didn't respond. I just let it go. I didn't say a word. And I just felt that I needed to just stay quiet and that my true friends and all the people that were around me, they could contact me and they would know. Uh, but that was hard. It's very difficult. It's not, people can say a lot of things. Anybody can say anything on the internet. And then for me, I was like, man, I want to tell them, I want to say this, and I just stayed quiet. I just felt that it was best. I didn't want to respond. I didn't want to. I think the people that knew me the most or knew me the best could get a hold of me, or they could find a way to contact me and we could talk. I'm extremely happy that a lot of my friends are still around. Um, but I'm not going to sit here and tell you that's easy. So all I can say is, again, stay strong. That's ultimately up to the person's decision. My decision was to stay quiet. Grant, if you see my Facebook or any of my social medias, I just really don't get on it too much, especially for my kids. I just kind of felt like I just wanted to live my life, and I didn't really want it to be on social media, though. So.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Toko, how about you? What's your approach to social media? And I know that we've actually had conversations in the past about some people that we've known who throw some horrific stuff out there about their exes and stuff. So talk about your approach to social media, not only as a single parent, but in addressing tensions with the ex.
I'm generally a private person. I post pictures and stuff. I don't address anything. I don't talk about anything. So no, I've never had where I have to put something on social media. I've seen a few things from the other side that sound like I'm being bashed, but oh well.
I
Yeah,
like that. I
yeah, for
like it.
sure, for sure.
I
Yeah.
like it.
Yeah, I'm all about the social media beatdown. I'll throw anything about my. No, I'm just joking. I'm private as well. Very private. Abel, how about from a kid's perspective? Because I know you do a lot of vacations. You guys go to some cool spots, which is I love seeing that kind of stuff on social media. How do you approach your kids on social media and how like posting their stuff?
Yeah, for the most part, it's just more of like my time with them, or like we said, like we're on vacations, things of that nature. Um, but for the most part, I've kind of social media kind of felt like it was part of the burn for a while. So then it got to the point where I wanted to detach from it. But when my kids do something really awesome, or I just think it's a good time, like we have a birthday party. We just had my son's birthday party at Strike and Reel. They love it out there. I think that those moments. I've tried to like add those into the moments so then next year, whenever I see what was I doing last year, those are the things that I'll see. And it kind of I don't want my past to drown out. I do not wish for that to happen. I think that whatever has happened in my life was meant for a reason. But when there's a lot more positive and I might see a negative, I'll be like, it's okay. It's good. It's fine.
Toko, how about you? Same question. How do you deal with social media with Gracie? Do you do a lot of posting?
Um, yeah, with daughter, I just post like when we go, like when she's doing like activity, um, like just innocent, normal activities. I don't post anything that is can be rude or seen as inappropriate. I try not to do that because for her own sake. She's very mature, so she knows what she doesn't like and what she likes. So I don't want to, make her feel like I'm just putting her business out there when she doesn't want to. So it's usually, when she's playing a game or she's in a choir at church or we're outside at the park, things like that. I do.
Let's talk a little bit about the new love of life when somebody gets a new love, or if the ex gets a new love. How is your approach to social media in addressing those issues? If somebody, when do you start to post pictures, or when should people start posting things with the new love, knowing that kids could be seeing it?
Um, well, I haven't had a love, so I don't know. Like, so I haven't had a love since. So, I mean, I probably would post something if I was ever to get engaged or married.
That's a good point. I mean, that's like a really good goal line or a goalpost or a marker, yard marker.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think if I had this nice big engagement, yes, I want to share that. But anything else, no, I'm not. No, I'm not posting it.
Because we've all probably had the friend who like posts in a relationship with someone and they're doing all these pictures, and then pretty soon you never see that person again, and it's like,
Yeah, and
oh,
then you have to go back and delete everything, and it's just
yeah,
like, oh, whatever.
yeah. Hey, well, how about you on that? What would your take be for people? What would your advice be on that?
Yeah, as far as the other half of it, I got really no control over that. And so I just try to just let that go. As far as myself, I'm kind of like Alma at this point. I'm trying to enjoy life, like just trying to enjoy every aspect of that. Um, I guess if it comes a time where I feel, that it's to that point, I guess if I was going to get engaged or something like that, then I would see a lot of pictures. I think that just for now, after all that I've been through, I feel that I've tried to just make my life like mine, like enjoy my life, like the pictures that I have, and then like keep them with me, enjoy all those moments rather than putting them all on Facebook, which is great, or on my social media. But for a while, I felt like my life wasn't mine. And so now I'm at a point where I'm like, this is mine, and all these good moments, I want to enjoy them. And sometimes I will post them, but for the most part, I've tried to just keep them here. And so eventually I may like almost like start posting those types of things. But yeah, for now, I've just tried to stick to just trying to enjoy all the good times.
See, and that's really cool because that's kind of a cultural thing, right? Because it used to be when we, and of course I'm older than you guys, but like when we would go to concerts or we would go to cool things, we would just take it all in. And now
Hmm.
everybody's doing this. Everyone's watching
Yeah,
everything they watch. They're
yeah.
holding up the phone, right? And it's like
Hmm.
just enjoy
Hmm.
it. Just take it all in. Take it all in. So
Yeah, it's blurry.
I,
You're like the guy's like 20 yards from you. It's okay. Like just look up.
I mean, yeah,
we don't
yeah,
have to
just
film
get
every
that one
moment.
memory.
Yeah, yeah.
Alma, say it again. I didn't hear it.
I said, well, I guess, to get the little memory that you do have, I guess, to record.
Yes.
But
Hmm.
otherwise, yeah, I think people do need to live in the moment and enjoy that moment at that time. But yeah, the phones are crazy today.
Well, the final kind of top or the question on this topic that I have talks is dealing with our own kids and kind of maybe advice that we would share with other parents too about how, and maybe you've even can share what you've talked to your kids about. I certainly will. But what have you talked to your kids about? What's your approach to them posting on social media? Because it's a crazy world out there, and when they put stuff out there, it's out there for good. And there's a lot of horror stories of young people. So I'm going to just start with our original order. Almost go right back to you. Tell me about your approach to how you've dealt with your kids and telling them what to post.
Well, I think my kids know what's appropriate and what's not. So if you don't see me posting this, and that, why are you posting it? Kind of thing. And my kids are older, so yes, they're big into the social media and everything. So just reminding them that this is going to be with you until forever. So just remind them that, hey, what you post, you don't want people all in your business. You don't want people saying this, you don't want people saying that. So pretty much what's appropriate and what's not.
Awesome. Abel, how about you?
Similar. Like my youngest, she's yeah, she's in second grade, so I don't think she's got like I think it's like these TikTok and something. But that's something that I just spoke with them about here in Richardson ISD or in the area. They were speaking about like kids joining this some type of craziness where they were like just ransacking bathrooms and doing stuff like that. So we got an email about that. So I had to talk to my son, just let them know that if you get involved in something like that, people are going to come down on you, and there's not going to be any like, oh, it's okay. You try to be very direct with those because whenever that's on radar and you get caught up in something like that, people they'll they'll send you down the road, and over a mistake maybe you made in seventh or eighth grade. But sadly, you just shouldn't be doing that either way. But yeah, I try to talk to them as much as possible. Like a video that's recorded here in Richardson could be what in Japan, like in 5 or 10 seconds if you have the right feed, so or the right app. So like that's definitely, especially now they use TikTok a lot. With my son, he's getting older, he's getting bigger, so I'm like, he can handle himself. My daughter's, she's younger, so it makes me think. Thinks I've only had a brother, so it makes me think maybe more like in the female aspect of it.
Aren't you glad we didn't have social media when we were kids?
Amen. Amen.
Yeah.
Amen.
Oh, God, there'd be some things coming back to probably haunt me a little bit, maybe.
Yes, especially the
Maybe.
clothes, the clothes, and when I did have hair.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, it'd have been more than that. So, how about you? What is your advice to kiddos on social media?
Yeah, just be, watchful with what they do on social media. There was a time I was too busy. I wasn't paying attention. My daughter is 8 years old. Um, she's already into TikTok and whatever they have nowadays. So I sat down with her. I talked to her how this is gonna be permanent. Even if you delete it, it's gonna be forever. So there's some things that have to be private. So what she uses TikTok for now, she just records the fun videos. She does not post them. So she has like private videos, but she does not post it. So I'm okay with that. So because she likes to make funny videos, which whenever we sit down and watch and laugh about it. So that's it. So hopefully she'll maintain that privacy like that and grow into that.
Yeah, because she's at a really challenging age. And again, my kids at that age really didn't have quite as many options on social media. But there were some things that happened to my kids, some of their friends when they were in, it was 7th, 8th grade. There was stuff that was just awful. And that had more to do with like texting, but photos and things got out and some people posted some stuff. And it can ruin a kid's life.
Mm-hmm.
It can ruin a kid's life.
Very much.
So one of the things I always did is I would like share, like if there was and again, you don't like share it to glorify, but if there's like a really bad, sad story of, because the bullying and all the different stuff on social media that can happen, I would sit down with my kids and just share it to them and say, look, this is what can happen. And the best approach is you just don't get involved in it at all. But if you have to get involved in it, just keep it with real simple stuff. Just keep it with fun stuff. And like Abel was saying too, it's like, it's out there. It's always going to be out there. And you don't realize this when you're a kid. But when you go to get a job, and we see it like you brought it up, Abel, all these pro athletes or whoever is celebrities, they're 25 years old and people are dragging up stuff from when they were 14 and they're getting, canceled or whatever, they're getting fired from jobs. It's like, I was 14, and so, but it's out there. Stuff is out there. So it's a scary thing. It's a scary thing. So
Group therapy.
it's another great parental rights panel discussion. We are coming down the home stretch of episode 2, which means it's time to do our small business spotlight. And this one is for my fellow caffeine junkies. I think you're going to enjoy this little tip in this spotlight. Let's roll it. Got a really cool surprise in the mail today. Actually, it just came a few minutes ago. This is awesome. Oh my God, I can smell it already. This is Addison Coffee Roasters in Addison, Texas. If you're not in Texas, don't worry, they ship anywhere. It is absolutely worth your time, effort, and money to order at least one bag of their product and give it a shot. I know we all sometimes stop off at the Evil Empire. I spend way too much money there myself, but what I love to do is get a couple of bags of Addison Coffee Roasters, and I save so much time and money. So my go-to flavors are Premium Espresso, Yemen, and Bali. It tastes so much better, I guarantee you. It's less acidic, it doesn't hurt the stomach as much. It's just everything about it is better. Now I always store them in the freezer. They're much better in the freezer, it keeps them fresh. Put that coffee in there, it will last a long time. These are great, you will not regret it. Order a bag today. Go to addisoncoffee.com, get yourself a bag, just try it out. You got nothing to lose. As we wrap up this second episode of Parental Rights, it's time to go into our final message of the day. Once again, it's Grant's last stand. There are so many things that we have to keep in mind as we make this journey down the single-parent highway. But one of the most important ones is to make sure that we are the main influencer in our child's lives. Sadly, today's culture is filled with so many images and messages that are just wrong for kids to see, just almost evil. If we don't fill that void of being the influencer of their lives, the culture will, and the implications are not good. So recently, I was speaking to a child psychiatrist that I know, and she's about my age, and she started reflecting back on our generation. And she said, when we were kids, we gravitated towards the kids who were successful. The popular kids were people who were good in sports or good in activities or had good grades and who did the right thing and stayed out of trouble. And she said what she's seeing with today's kids is that they're gravitating towards the kids who are loud and obnoxious and getting in trouble. And that right there is a huge cultural shift. That's why we have to be the main influencer in our kids' lives. We need to be the ones who dictate the actions that our kids take, not social media. Our kids follow our lead. Now you may not notice it, But all of our actions, the words that we say, the things that we do around the house, the energy that we bring, the kids pick up on that. And then in turn, they do the same thing. So it's so important that you become a positive influence, a positive influencer on the kids' lives. Which brings us back full circle to our general rules of single parent life. Rule number 2, which is put your kids' needs first. And what the kids really need is to have that positive influencer, not social media, but you, the positive influencer in their lives. Well, thanks so much for taking the time to watch episode 2. We hope you enjoyed it. You can always reach us at info@parentalrights.net. That's info@parentalrights.net. And again, please follow us on Instagram @parentalrights. And of course, please hit the subscribe button and the bell button here on YouTube so you can keep getting our new episodes. Again, thanks so much for watching. I'm Grant Kaufman. Have a wonderful week and keep writing your own story. Take care.